All right. What is going on, people? We're going to do some game design tonight. Give me a hot second here. I'm just finishing up my all my stuff. So let's click that out of the way. What's up, guys? My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. We're creating content for D&D 5e 2024 rules, converting D&D into Magic the Gathering, or rather converting Magic the Gathering into D&D by replacing the 8 schools of Magic and advancing spell slots with the 5-color mana system that Magic the Gathering is famous for, both the philosophy and mechanics for spellcasting. The endeavor of, we've already published this project. It's been out on the DMsGuild since 2016. It's a gold bestseller. Bless everybody that has taken an interest in the Mana project. Hold on, let me fix my screen here real quick. Now I'm gonna show you guys real quick. The color mana system is right here on the DMsGuild. We're updating all these books. These were for 2014 rules, and after having ran 3 campaigns from level 21 to 20 and additional content, I want to make some changes to it. The 2024 rules have made a lot of changes to the character class that I absolutely love for color mana. So we're going to update all of these books. They all have free previews. So whenever you want to check out any of the books I have linked down below, they're all 100% free preview. They're chock full of my art and ideas. Just be welcome to check this stuff out if you're interested. If you want to support me, buying the books that you think are coolest is a great way to show support. You can also support me on Patreon. I do artwork Monday through Fridays in the morning for these books that we publish, and then we design the books on Mondays, Thursdays, and then Saturday mornings. So 3 days a week we do design work, 5 days a week we do artwork, and across that band we end up publishing books. The Eberron adventure that I've been working on here for the past 2 years, that is going to publish probably next week. The book itself is done. I'm just packaging assets and breaking down maps for VTT usage right now. And once we finish all that packaging, we'll publish it. So it could be as soon as Tuesday the 3rd next week, or it could be a later date. But check out my DMsGuild stuff, link down below. The color mana system here, it uses spell points. It's a 1-to-1 point ratio. First level spell costs 1 point, a 5th level spell costs 5 points, a 9th level spell costs 9 points. It's super simple. So I won't go into, I think, my conspiracy theories about the spell points that they published in 2014, but they dropped them. So they no longer have an official spell point system even offered for 5e. So I think this is just a much easier system. It has less spell points than if you were to add up all your spell slots together. You'd have 89 for the full caster, 41 for the half caster, and 23 for the third caster. This levels those out to 80, 40, and 20 respectively by 20th level. 1-to-1 ratio, of course. And all the colors have been redefined. Instead of being in the 8 schools, they're in the 5 colors of Magic. And we, the first 5 episodes of this series was updating the color mana spell list for 2024. This one here was published in 2021, I think. So once we finish with the Eberron book, we'll be able to rebuild this document using the new 2024 rules. But as you can see here, it's laying out the parameters, like what are the 5 colors, what are some of the descriptors or aspects of Magic that represents each color, what type of damage in the game represents each color. We've also since then added conditions and monster types to colors, so that it helps provide additional insight as to which colors a spell should be devoted to. So if you're just using spell slots, if you want, or the old spell point system or my spell point system, then you would just simply say, I cast Chill Touch, and if it's a black spell, you cast it as though it, with a black magic descriptor. It's a necrotic spell. Do necro stuff with your casting, it's going to look like black magic. As opposed to, like, say, if you cast Cure Wounds, that's white and green magic. So when you spend a point of mana, you say you cast Cure Wounds, and you would use a white or color descriptor for how that spell works. If you want to be strict with your magic, you could restrict your character to only casting spells that are of colors that you are devoted to. So if I had my Warlock, my Divine Sorcerer in Curse of Strahd is a white-green Divine Sorcerer subclass. So I have access to both Cleric and Sorcery spells, and I'm devoted to Selûne, which has white and green color identity. So all the mana that I use is either white or green. So I'm limited in my spells of my Sorcerer and virtually everything that I want, but occasionally there'll be a spell that I want that isn't naturally white or green, such as Command is black and red. So I, as a white-green caster, wouldn't normally have access to Command as a black and red spell. I could prepare it twice, once in its natural colors, and then I prepare it a second time to override those colors and become the color that I want to be, say, white. So Command for me would then be a white spell. If it's a bonus spell from my bonus spell list or a spell that I got from my feat, it's any color that I want. So if you take Misty Step as a Fey Touch character, you might naturally think blue and green magic because of Fey, but you could technically be Fey Touch as like a Rakdos Black-Red character and still be able to use Misty Step for you because it's your species spell or your feat spell. It could be whatever your color identity is. If I were to play a Cleric of War that had, say, Command as part of their spell list, even though I'm a white-green character, if it's on my bonus spell list, I could cast it as black, red, white, or green, my choice. It's only the spells that I prepare that I would need to worry about specifically what colors are. They always have an identity, but these spells come with an identity. Like Chromatic Orb does all the damages in the rainbow. So you could cast Chromatic Orb with any color. If you wanted to use cold magic, you could restrict yourself to requiring white, blue, and green because those are the colors for cold damage. But that's up to you. You could use a point of blue mana and cast a Fireball with the Chromatic Orb if you wanted to. But if you're going to cast Fireball itself, a 3rd level spell, Fireball is naturally a red spell. So my white-green sorcerer doesn't have Fireball, but if I wanted Fireball, I could prepare it once as red and then prepare it a second time, eating 2 slots to have that Fireball be white instead of red. Alternatively, I can spend a week of research time at a Selesnya guild or at a church. In the case of my characters, I'd have to go to for a week in a Selûne church and spend a week of downtime activity there meditating or praying, and then I would be able to permanently convert one spell to the color identity that I want. So if I have 40 spells that I want to eventually all migrate to being just white to use and cast, then I'll need to spend 40 downtime weeks to convert all of those spells. And depending on how you run your campaign, that encourages you to add space and time into your campaign so that characters have the opportunity to sculpt and mold their mana pool and their spell selection to use the colors that they want to identify with. And it gives the DM an opportunity to let the world progress without being at a breakneck speed. I actually recommend long rest with this system when you're using a 1-to-1 point ratio magic system. Having gritty realism where it's 7 days equals 1 long rest, and then every 24 hours you can take a short rest. That paces a lot better with how modern 5e is being played today, but it also incorporates the idea of the Bastion turn. So a Bastion turn is also a week long, so you can align the week of gameplay with your Bastion turn, and you spend a downtime activity as your Bastion turn folded into whatever activities and adventures you're doing during that week. So if you run an adventure a week episode format where we're going to spend the next 4 sessions playing this adventure, and by the end of that it'll have been a week in the game, and then we'll do a Bastion turn update, and whatever like you get 1 downtime activity plus your adventuring, and then whatever orders you issue to a Bastion. That allows you to always be converting whatever spell you want access to the color that you want. Plus you can find it on scrolls. You can hire people to transcribe scrolls into colors for you, but they're also operating under the Bastion turn, so they can only turn out 1 per week, but you can hire multiple inside of a scriptorium, for example. You can find a magic book a wizard's book that already has all the spells converted to the color that you want, that you can take as treasure, and then integrate that into your spell book during downtime so that you're integrating it. You can also find prayer scrolls or like for druids, it'd be like scrolls or plaques, like runes, that have the spell, their druidic or their cleric spells on scrolls or in relics converted to the color that you want. Like so, like in Theros, if you're a worshiper of Eros, which is white and red magic, if you spend time in an Eros temple and you grow your piety, whatever your piety score is divided by 3 is the level of spell that you can pray to have converted to the color that you want. So it encourages you to stack piety up to gods in the colors that they're aligned with. Like Ao is also just pure white. So if your character spent time in temples of Eros and Ao, you would eventually be able to super stack your white mana and be able to have all of your spells aligned to white mana only. So you have basically a monocolor mana pool. It makes it very efficient for you to cast any spell that you want. And then if you really wanted to get strict, you could then devote each point of mana to a specific color. So if I'm a 20th level wizard and if I'm a 20th level divine soul sorcerer that has both the cleric and the sorcerer mana spell lists available, and I'm using white-green mana on my character, then by 20th level I'll have 80 mana, plus the sorcerer gets an extra 20 because of the sorcery point. So actually a 20th level sorcerer has 100 mana, and I could go like 50 white and 50 green, or maybe over the course of my 20 levels of character, I've gotten it to the point where all of my spells, except for a couple of them, are all white, and I just have a few green spells. So it might be like 80 white mana and 20 green mana, just to be very thorough. But if I'm going to throw a third level fireball, if I convert it into a white spell, only 1 point of mana needs to be white. The other 2 points could be green or red or blue or whatever color I want. Only 1 point out of the mana pool has to be devoted to the color of the spell that you cast it as. But this allows you, like if you run out of red mana on your fireball, you can't cast fireball anymore until you take a short or long rest and during a short rest, you can convert mana to a new color if you need it. During a long rest, when you get all your mana back, then you can convert that as well. If you're using gritty realism, every time you sleep at night, you take a short rest, and at the end of the week, you get a long rest. So whenever you take a short rest, in that gritty realism system, or that delayed long rest, you get spell points back equal to the max level that you can cast. So a paladin, or like a 5th level paladin and ranger and artificer, would get 2 mana back every short rest, while a 5th level full caster would get 3 points back. And by 19th level, you'd get 5 back as a paladin, ranger, or artificer, and you'd get 10 back as a full caster, because we have the 10th level spell slot at 19th level. So that's the quick crash course in how the mana system works, and that's all available for anybody to look at in this link right here if you're interested. Thanks a lot to anybody that's checking the channel out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. So today we're going to focus specifically on the Bard. So I'm going to hit Control F here real quick and write in the word Bard. And that should sling us down to there we go. Sling us down to the Bard. So I'm going to keep this in a separate window over here so I can keep track of stuff for myself separately. And this is going to be our prep window here. And this is my Roll20 space. This is where we're playing Mage Tower. We're playtesting Mage Tower on Saturday mornings. We're at 10th level right now. But basically there's a ball at the center. It's modified. It's basically rugby, but it's a modified type of Mage Tower. There's a ball in the middle of the field. It's a hamster ball of indestructible force that a hamster is running around inside of. So initiative starts, the hamster always goes first in a round, and it'll scurry off in a random direction 20 feet. And then you have characters like here and here. They're going to start over here on their goalpost. and the rival team, whether they're NPC or whether they're NPC DMs or other players, is PvP. Everyone has characters, so whoever's next in initiative will try to run up, get the ball, and then the goal is to hit the goalpost with the ball. So only in armor class 10 to hit it, but like if it crosses through my space, and then like if my goalie is here, and you throw the ball and it just left my opportunity, it just left my space, I can do an opportunity attack to grapple it before it leaves so it doesn't hit the goalpost. In fact, I now hold the ball because I'm the goalie. So I use a reaction to catch the ball. That's 5e combat used to play soccer, rugby, football. In this case, Mage Tower, where you can then use spells to kill each other or to paralyze each other or to shunt people over to the side or to bury them in the ground or whatever you're using your magic for, healing each other. All the damage is temporary. So as soon as somebody scores a point, the ball gets reset to the center of the match. We re-roll initiative, and there you go. And then the ball bounces off in a random direction because it's scared. And let's say if this guy goes first, he's going to try to run up and he can't reach it, but maybe he's able to, like, say, run to here and then throw a fireball and drop a nuke on you guys back here at home base. You'll take 8d6 temporary damage, and maybe he kills both of you. Now his friend can just casually walk over, pick up the ball, and score a point because you're both dead. So that gives them a point, and then we just reset the back to center. All your temporary hit points are back. You're still down your spell slots for throwing the fireball. The score is now 1-1. And we continue that way. And normally a game runs for an hour, or you could be like best of 3 points, or however fast you want to do it. But when you reach halftime, everyone takes a short rest, and at the end of the match, everyone takes a long rest, so you get all of your resources and all your healing back, and you can then run another match at 100% capacity. This is a really fun PvP game because you can kill each other in teams like you would in arena combat, right? Where the goal is to kill each other. But the real goal is to see who scores the most points. If you kill the enemy team, your reward is you get to score a point, uncontested. But that's only one out of anywhere from like 3 to 7 points, depending on how long you want to play. So you get a short rest. Like if it's best of 7, when you get to whenever you get to, like, whoever gets the 4 points first, whenever you get the 4 points out of the 7. If like you've got 3 points and I've got 2 points, that's 5 points. Well, if you have 2 points and I have 2 points, that's halftime. And then whoever gets the 7 first from there, whoever gets the 4 from there first, that's the end of the match. If the score is tied, if you're playing for an hour, like it's at the half-hour mark, you take a short rest at halftime, and then the other 30 minutes, that's end. If you go into overtime, no rest. You just play through, and when the overtime ends, with whoever scores the next point, that's when you get your long rest. You can start the next game. So it's actually really simple, but there's a lot of little caveat rules about like object interaction, targeting things, the goalpost, the arena itself, the out of bounds, the ball. But these are all rules of how you play Mage Tower or Spell Rugby. But it all works inside of the 5e game engine, the way that the 5e game engine in combat is designed to work. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested in stuff, we play that on Saturdays on my Discord channel, and my Discord is right here, so you can join the community, and it's right at the top, Mage Tower playtesting. Be welcome to sign up for anyone that's interested. But right, so we have the Bard pulled up here in D&D Beyond, the 2024 Bard with the colleges that exist. And then we have the Bard here. Here's the chassis for the Bard, which we'll walk through, all the class features, and then the subclasses. We're only going to worry about the subclasses that are actually in the player's handbook. The 4 subclasses for the Bards, etc. The exception to that is going to be the Wizard, because instead of having 4 schools of magic, there's 5 colors of magic. So we don't have like an Abjurist or a Necromancer or a Conjurer. You have a white wizard, blue wizard, red wizard, black wizard, green wizard. Or, you could do a Blade Singer, or you could do a War Mage. Those subclasses still exist. It's just you don't have like a focused Necromancer or a Black Magic. But we could then use a Necromancer, but they would also be using Black Magic just in different ways. So we can have like a core, like I'm all about the black energy and exploiting that power. That is my ambition. I am pure black in my power. All my spells I eventually want to be black spells. I can research at half the cost, twice the speed. If it's black spells, it's a black wizard, so it's super hyper focused on black magic. You can also have a necromancer that's also black. So like, there's a lot of options and variety that it will play. But for the publishing of the book that we'll put on the DMsGuild, and it'll be 100% free, just like the other books are. So let's get into it. Let's go up to the beginning of the Bard. Here's our progression. A lot of it's normal. You've got your max spell level. It goes from 1 to 10. 10 at 19th level. Wish is a 10th level spell in this system that you don't get access to until 10th level, until 19th level. And then, so there you go, up to 10th level by 19, 1, 2, 3, etc. like usual. Number of prepared spells hasn't. I think it's the same. Is it the same or did we increase it? We took it to 23. And yeah, 23. Yeah, we've standardized all the, I believe all of the full casters have 23 mana or 23 spells. The half casters 15, and the marshals they get 15 powers or feat options as well. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you, Steve. Let me fix my screen here. Got a rave going on in here. Is the music too loud or am I balanced well? Your mana supply, like we were talking, it starts at 2 like normal. It scales up to 80 at 20th level. Worth noting, at 3rd level, you get 2 second level spells and 4 first level spells. This actually balances out pretty well. It's a little generous at 2nd level, but the curve is very smooth. It's a very smooth ascension all the way up to 80 at 20th level. Good. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Let's see what else we got going on here. Max spell, prepared spells, the amount of mana that you have, your cantrips. Here you go, 2, 4, 5. Like no changes there. Oh no, we gave him an extra cantrip for the fun of it, because I don't know why they're stuck at 4. From level 9 on. It's not like getting another cantrip is going to kill you. So we gave you another cantrip so it wouldn't kill you. And the Bardic Inspiration die hasn't changed. It's still D6, D8, D10, D12. D6, D8, D10. Is that the levels? Yeah. And the class features are largely unchanged, but there are a number of modifications that we've made to them. So we've rebuilt all the class features. So we're going to go through those real quick, and then we're going to get into the subclasses and see how these class features are modified by the subclasses, and how the features are being modified by mana, and how the subclasses make use of mana. 5x5, right on. Spellcasting, total cantrips, spells, mana, as on the table above. You can swap 1 cantrip when you gain a level. You can swap 1 spell when you finish a long rest, and you can swap all of them when you gain a bard level. This allows you to not get stuck with just the spell selection you have for an entire level. That is just, it's too slow, man. It's just too slow. So being able to swap 1 spell per day and swap them all when you gain a level is much more even flow. If you're doing a weekly Bastion campaign where you get a long rest per week, that means that you'll have basically 1 adventure to run with the spells that you have, and then you can swap out one of the spells that you didn't like. If you gained a level, swap them all. Casting a spell costs 1 mana per level up to your max spell limit. When you use color mana, only 1 point of mana needs to be devoted to one of the colors of the spells. Any additional mana can be any color, which we discussed. When you finish a short or long rest, you can swap colors for any amount of mana that remains in your pool. For rules about duration and concentration, we do have alternate rules for concentration and stuff, but we won't go into that right now. We'll go into that later. We touched on it on episode 1 to 5 when we were rebuilding, when we were classifying the spells to what colors they're devoted to. So check that stuff out. You are not limited to casting one spell with mana per round. For example, in this system, we've done everything we can to take away free uses of spells. The reason we have free uses of spells that are like first and second level for a lot of subclasses and class features now is because Wizards is recognizing we should be able to cast a lot of low-level spells. Mana naturally does that. When you have 40 mana at 12th level and a first level spell only costs 1 mana, I have no reason to give you free uses of a first level spell. So we take that away, and instead we do something involving mana and color and stuff like that. So there's still a reason for the feature to exist. It's not, but now it's not just I give you free castings of a spell. Sometimes it's we reduce the cost of a spell, but you still have to spend mana to use it. We're also looking and getting rid of free uses of things, but instead allowing you to spend mana to utilize them. So we're doing what we can, wherever we can, to get rid of things like get 5 uses of, like, get charisma amount of uses of this and get them all back on your short or long rest. That's something that we're taking hard, long looks at, and we're going to be looking at again with Bardic Inspiration coming right up. So, but having said that, everything, all spells that you cast using mana systems is going to cost mana to fatigue your mana pool. When you only have 4 first level spells in your 16th level, it's lame to have to be able to chew through your 2nd and 3rd level spell slots just to do like super basic low level magic. So they gave characters free castings of various spells to represent that. But again, you have so much mana, you don't need it. So, but because every spell requires mana, see what they did in 5e24 was, if you didn't have to spend mana to cast this spell, you can cast it. If it requires a bonus action, you can cast it even though you just cast another spell that requires a magic action, because you didn't have to spend a spell slot. It's kind of a bullshit excuse. So what we did instead was we just got rid of that. If you can Misty Step and throw a fireball in the same turn, it's your mana. Go ahead and do it. The only exception to that is the Sorcerer. If you use Quicken Spell, you convert a standard casting time, a magic action into a bonus action. You can't also use a magic action to cast another mana spell. You could cast a cantrip like usual, but not another mana spell. Sorcerer is the only one that breaks the system. They bent the entire system around the Sorcerer. They could have just left the system like, yeah, if you have mana, spend the mana, cast a spell, whenever reaction, magic action, bonus action. You only got those, and all of the bonus actions either require an attack roll first, so you can't use a magic action the same turn at all, so that's a null point, or they reduce damage, or they get you out, they help you reposition. They're defense spells. They're all defense spells, or they deal damage and either require an attack action or a separate bonus action every round, like Spiritual Weapon, to deal damage again. So bonus and bonus spells, other than the Sorcerer, there's nothing wrong with you allowing anyone to use them by spending spell slots or mana, whatever. But if you get free uses of the spells, just adhere to that as written in the Player's Handbook. If you switch to a mana model, you don't need the free spells. Just open up bonus actions all the time whenever you want, but you don't get any free spells. So it actually balances out pretty nicely. So that's spell casting, and we'll keep that in mind for when we get into our subclasses. Bardic Inspiration, you gain a Bardic Inspiration die, which is a D6. At higher levels, your Bardic Inspiration die changes when you reach certain levels. Bard levels as shown, Bastion die, the Bardic die column, it ends up being a D12 at 15. You have a number of Bardic Inspiration dice equal to your Charisma modifier, minimum of 1, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So I'm immediately going to contradict myself. The Bard gets Bardic Inspiration. It's a non-mana resource. You get them back on a long rest. So starting off, it's Charisma based, minimum of 1. What you could do is you could say, have a number of Bardic Inspiration dice equal to your the maximum level spell that you can cast. Or you can have it be equal to half your Bardic level. Or you could have it be like half your max casting level, minimum of 1. You could scale them up that way if you wanted. I don't think... Yeah, there's nothing in the game that's going to get your charisma above 20 unless it's magic items that your DM allows you to have. You're probably going to start, if you're using standard array, you're probably going to start with an 18 in your charisma. That's going to give you 4 uses up front, and it's only going to ascend to 5 eventually. I think I'm okay with that. It's Bardic Inspiration is a big shtick, so we're going to leave that in place for now. And if we decide to make some sort of modification, we will, but it feels okay. So, using Bardic Inspiration, bonus action. You can give 1 die of inspiration to a creature within 60 feet of yourself that you can see or hear, that to yourself, of yourself who can see or hear you. A creature can have only 1 Bardic Inspiration die at a time. When the creature fails a d20 test, which is any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, it can roll the die of inspiration and add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning the failure into a success. The Bardic Inspiration die is expended when it's rolled this way, and it is not used. And if it is not used before finishing a short or long rest, the die is lost. And then as a reaction, when you or a creature within 60 feet of yourself who can see or hear you fails a d20 test, you can use your reaction to roll a Bardic Inspiration die and add the number rolled to the result, to the d20 result, potentially turning the failure into a success. The die is expended when you roll it this way. We have the general rule. I'm going to put this in brackets right now. General rule, when you roll multiple dice to increase the result of a d20 test, only add the highest result. For example, Bless gives you a plus d4 on saving throws. It lasts a minute. But if I were to use Bardic Inspiration to modify die roll, and I have Bless on me, that's both a d4 and a d8. That could give me anywhere from a plus 2 to a plus 12. Stacking dice modifiers breaks the d20 bounded accuracy curve theory. The bounded accuracy curve theory is that at first level, you're generally taking on DCs around DC 10. Your first level is already difficult. By the time you reach 5th level, you're taking on DC 15. By 9th level, you're taking on DC 20. At 13, you're taking on DC 25. And at 17 plus, you're taking on DC 30. This is the bounded accuracy curve. If you've got one bonus that's giving you a D8, another bonus that's giving you a D10, another bonus that's giving you a D4 from various class features, and you're allowed to add them all together, that could be anywhere from a plus 3 to a plus 32. It completely shatters the bounded accuracy curve. So we implement the rule when we're doing these mana systems where you can have a bunch of stacking effects, especially when you start using martial powers, to spend mana to specifically ramp D20 tests as a unique type of magic that martials can use. You have to pay attention to how many dice are you stacking up and what's that doing to your results. You can always stack up dice to deal more damage, but when it's a D20 test, you only use the best result. So the Bless spell is useful, but it doesn't just pour gas on the fire. Like if you don't have something better than a D4 to add to whatever this D20 test is that you're making right now, at least you have plus 3. So that's the philosophy behind it. So that is a general rule that is present throughout the color mana system, or all the mana systems that I develop in general. Having said that, so bonus actions and reactions, you can spend the Bardic Inspiration on yourself as reactions. You can spend Bardic Inspiration on others as a reaction. As a bonus action, you can give the Bardic Inspiration for them to use on themselves without having to use a reaction or a bonus action at all. You just have the die to spin when they want. points. We're going to look at that some more when we get into the subclass features. Expertise. You gain expertise in 2 of your skill proficiencies of your choice, and 2 of your skill proficiencies of your choice. Jack of all trades. When an ability check you make can use a skill proficiency you lack, you can add half your proficiency bonus rounded down. If you don't otherwise use your proficiency bonus. Subclass level 3, 6, and 14. Choose and because level 10, your bardic inspiration level at your level 10 subclass feature is eaten by magical secrets, which gives you access to other spell lists. That's why the bard only has the 3, 6, and 14. What I would theorize, I'll be doing this for future bards, but I would theorize that you could sacrifice magical secrets to gain an additional subclass feature. This would work in strict classing when you're allowing one class to take a subclass from a different or an unspecified class. There's a lot of all the classes basically use the 4-level system. 3, 6, 10, 14, or like in the case of the Ranger, it's 3, 7, 11, 15. But for the most part, it's 3, 6, 10, 14. So the Bard doesn't get a level 10 feature, but you could theoretically allow a Bard to, like, say, take the Rogue's Thief subclass, and you would sacrifice your, level 13 that the Rogue gets their 3rd subclass feature. You could sacrifice your magical secrets to get that Rogue subclass feature instead. If you were to play a thief bard, for instance, that would work just fine. Some subclass features wouldn't be useful to you because a lot of Rogue subclass features modify sneak attack, which your bard wouldn't necessarily benefit from unless they multi-classed into thief. But if you're taking a thief subclass, that would allow you to take 2 thief subclasses if you allowed you to do that. So, excuse me for a second. Like, you could take 3 levels of Rogue to get access to a 3rd level feature, and then as Bard, you could take a separate subclass feature, or you could just keep adding on levels of Rogue. At level 3 Bard, you get your level 9 Thief subclass ability, for instance. Anyway, yada yada, tangent. Things that can be played with. By level 5, Font of Inspiration, you now regain all expended uses of Bardic Inspiration die whenever you finish a short or long rest. In addition, you can expend 2 mana to regain 1 expended use of Bardic Inspiration, and you can expend 1 Bardic Inspiration die to regain 2 points of mana, and no action is required. So, if you've got a 20 in Charisma at this point, you're getting back 5 Bardic Inspiration every short rest, which you could then convert. If you didn't want the Bardic Inspiration dies, you could just convert them into 10 mana. Again, if we're looking at gritty realism, every short rest is a day. So when you wake up, you could choose to, instead of getting 5 Bardic Inspiration, if you have 10 mana missing, you can just dump the mana back into your mana pool, and then on a long rest, you get all your mana back. But every time you take a short rest, you're getting those Bardic Inspiration points. So over the course of a week, 7 days, you're going to get 35 Bardic Inspiration back, which is going to be 70 mana. So it's you're getting a shitload of mana. Until 5th level, you're basically, again, you can convert your Bardic Inspiration. Oh wait, no, you can't convert Bardic Inspiration until level 5. So you're living cheap until 5th level. And at 5th level, you've suddenly got an ocean of mana available to your character to spend on Bardic Inspiration, and you're constantly replenishing Bardic Inspiration that you can then convert back into mana. So it just washes back and forth. Counter Charm, 7th level. Counter Charm, if you or a creature within 30 feet of you fails a saving throw against an effect that applies the charm or frightened condition, You can take a reaction to cause the save to be rolled, and the new roll has advantage. You can expend a bardic inspiration die and add the results to the re-roll as part of the same reaction. There. Now you've got a really high chance of actually succeeding. More expertise at level 9. Magical secrets. Whenever you gain a bardic level, including this one, you can choose to prepare spells as a bard from the bard, cleric, druid, and wizard spell list. These count as bard spells for you. Let's double check that real quick. Any of your new spells, yeah, you get access to all the spells in the rainbow. Whenever you gain a bard level, you can choose to prepare. In addition, when you swap a spell, it can be replaced with a spell from any of these lists. Good enough for now, period. Superior inspiration. When you roll initiative, when you roll initiative, you gain 2 bardic inspiration die. So that's 4 mana back in your pocket again. You're getting plenty of mana. Your characters are doing just fine. Epic boon. You gain an epic boon feat or another feat of your choice that you qualify. And then level 20, Word of Creation. You always have the Power Word Heal and Power Word Kill spells prepared. When you cast either spell, you can target a second creature with it if that creature is within 10 feet of the first target. Okay, that's all. No problems there. Bard subclasses. Bards gain all their subclass features with the following modifications. If a feature isn't described here, it remains unchanged as written in the player's handbook. So, Calls of Dance. You gain these spells: Thorn Whip, Expeditious Retreat, Jump, Misty Step, Haste, Slow, Compulsion, Freedom of Movement, Destructive Wave, Steal and Strike. Okay, so again, if I'm say a Rakdos College of Dance, I can cast any of these spells using black or red mana. If I am a Gruul College of, let's say Prismari College of Dance, blue-green, I can cast any of these spells with blue or green mana. If I were a Selesnya, white-green, yada yada yada. Level 3, Dazzling Footwork. While you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, you gain the following benefits. Dance Virtuoso. You have advantage on any charisma performance check you make that involves your dancing. Unarmored Defense. Your armor class is 10 plus Dex and Caw. Agile Strikes. When you expend a use of your Bardic Inspiration as part of an action, a bonus action, or a reaction, you can make one unarmed strike as part of that action, bonus action, or reaction. And then Bardic Damage. You can use Dexterity instead of Strength for your attack rolls for your unarmed strikes. And when you deal damage with unarmed strikes, you can deal bludgeoning damage equal to the roll of a Bardic Inspiration die, plus your Dex mod, instead of the strike's normal damage. This roll doesn't expend the die. There you go. Great ability. Tandem Footwork. When you roll initiative, you can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration. If you don't have the incapacitated condition, when you do so, roll your Bardic Inspiration die. You and a number of allies within 30 feet of you equal to your Charisma modifier, minimum of 1, who can see or hear you, gains a bonus to initiative equal to the number rolled. Cool. I'm down with that. The Alert feat gives you a +5 static bonus that would stack with this. Inspiring Movement, level 6. When an enemy you can see ends its turn within 5 feet of you, you can take a reaction and spend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to move up to half your speed. Then one ally of your choice within 30 feet of you can also move up to half their speed using their reaction. None of this feature's movements provoke opportunity attacks. This is actually incredibly effective in playing Mage Tower. One of our playtesters started using College of Dance, and its ability to help add to the D20 test as reactions and bonus actions, and to be able to dump Bardic Inspiration onto characters and movement. It's a really, really good subclass. Leading evasion. When you are subjected at level 14, again, our level 10 was get all spells. Level 14, when you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw or take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw and only half damage if you fail. That's just evasion. If any creature within 5 feet of you are making the same dex save, you can show this benefit with them for that save. You can't use this feature if you have the incapacitating condition. Super simple, super cool class. Very, very much in favor of that. I love that. Super cool class. Let's what is that? Let's see. Okay, College of Glamour. When you reach Bard level in the Glamour, you get these spells. Again, Friends, Charm Person, Command, Mirror Image, Beacon of Hope, Empowering Pattern, or of Purity, Confusion, Seeming, Yolanda's Regal Presence. College of Glamour, this could like Lorehold, for instance, which is white-red. If I were a Lorehold Bard, then I could cast all these spells using either white or red. If I am College Glamour, let's say if I'm in Orzhov Syndicate, which is white-black mana, I'd be able to cast all these spells with white or black mana, plus whatever the normal colors are. But like if I'm Orzhov, all I'll have is white and black. I could have a third, fourth, even fifth color if I want to, but Orzhov focuses specifically on white and black mana. It doesn't necessarily prevent me from having other color manas. It just means everything involved with Orzhov is going to be aligned with black and white magic. So there you go. Anyway, option Beguiling Magic. Immediately after you expend mana, I gotta be careful. I'm still healing. My voice was hoarse as hell yesterday. It's better now. I'm not going to run a long stream tonight. We're going to go through these subclasses, and then we'll be done for the night. And then I'll be back tomorrow morning to do more Bob Ross landscape painting. But for now, Beguiling Magic. Immediately after you expend mana to cast one of your bonus Glamour spells. So any of these Glamour spells, anytime I cast any of those spells, you can cause a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself to make a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target has the Charm or Frightened condition, your choice, for 1 minute. The effect ends for a creature when you are no longer within its line of sight, and the target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending one use of your Bardic Inspiration, or just 2 mana, which is the same, which becomes the same thing at 5th level. Immediately after immediately after you expend mana to cast one, I'll keep that in place. Mantle of Inspiration. As a bonus action, you can expend a use of your Bardic Inspiration die, rolling the die. When you do so, choose a number of other creatures within 60 feet of yourself. See how 60 feet is just like a standard distance for stuff? That's why we made 60 feet the standard distance for all the martial powers that we have for the Barbarian and other martial characters. Now, each of these creatures gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 2 times the number rolled on the Bardic Inspiration die. And then each can use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Oh, that's really good. Love that. Mantle of Majesty, bonus action, 6th level. You tap 3 mana to take on an unearthly appearance while you maintain concentration. During this time, you can cast Command as a bonus action without expending mana. Interesting distinction. Huh, I like the idea of that. I was just talking about not needing to use free mana. So as a bonus action, take on an unearthly appearance while you maintain concentration. During that time, you can cast Command as a bonus action without expending mana. Any creature charmed by you automatically fails against the command you cast with this creature with this feature. Any creature charmed by you. Any creature charmed by you automatically fails its saving throw against the command you cast with this feature. Okay. So I have to spend mana or Beguiling Magic, cause a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself to make a Wisdom saving throw, or become charmed or frightened. So you hit them with immediately after you expend mana to cast one of your bonus glamour spells. You can see within 60 feet of yourself to make a Wisdom saving throw, and then as a bonus action, you tap 3 mana to make to take on an unearthly appearance while you maintain concentration during this time. How does that actually work, Mantle of Majesty? As a bonus action, you cast Command without expending a spell slot, and take on unearthly appearance for 1 minute. Okay. I see what we had done there originally. That needs to change. As a bonus action, you always have the command spell prepared. Oh yeah, they don't give you spells normally for Bard anymore. I think that's so dumb that Bard don't get bonus spells. That really bothers me. Okay, so that's why I give him bonus spells. Let's look at this again. As a bonus action, you cast Command. During this time, you can cast Command and give it as a bonus action. Okay, there it is. For 1 minute, you take on an unearthly appearance as a cantrip. You take on you can maintain concentration as a cantrip with no duration to take on an earthly appearance. A cantrip has a concentration check of DC 10. So as a bonus action, we can just as a cantrip, we can just maintain concentration on this. During this time, you can cast command as a bonus action, period. You're not giving free castings of the spell. You don't need it because you have so much fucking mana. Any creature charmed by you. So as an action, we can cast Charm Person. We get it for free. So we can cast Charm Person for 1 mana at somebody, or we can use Beguiling Magic for a Bardic Inspiration die. In either circumstance, they're going to get charmed. If they do, then we can use Mantle of Majesty and immediately follow it up with a bonus action that they automatically fail and they follow the command. That's a fun combo sequence. That'll cost you 2 mana, or with Bardic Inspiration, it'll cost you 3. Any creature charmed by you automatically fails its saving throw against the command. You cast with this. How often can I do this? Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore its use by expending. Oh, there it is. A level 3+ spell slot. That's why we do it. Yeah. It's not worth 3 though, because you can lose concentration easily with this system. You can use this feature. You can use this feature. That's the wording. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, or you can expend 1 Bardic Inspiration die to regain it. No action required. Which is also worth 2 mana. So it's 2 mana to get the thing back, but you have to pay for the command spell that you cast. That's overall, I'd say that's pretty well balanced. Once you use this feature, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that balance. That feels really good. Unbreakable Majesty, 14. You can cast a Sanctuary as a persistent spell at will, targeting only yourself without expending mana. Unbreakable Majesty. As a bonus action, you can assume a magically majestic presence for 1 minute, or until you have the incapacitated condition for the duration. Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll for the first time on a turn, the attacker must succeed a charisma saving throw. Once you assume majestic presence, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. What level is Sanctuary? I think it's level 2. Oh, it's first level. Holy shit, that's great. So let's get rid of Mirror Image, because that's not very glamour. Let's go with Sanctuary instead. Fan-fucking-tastic. So you get at level 3, and by level 14, it's going to be you can there it is. Okay, when you target yourself. When you cast Sanctuary and targeting yourself, the duration is persistent. Period. So there's instant spells that you pop the spell, it's over, like Cure Wounds, Fireball. There's spells with duration that'll last like around a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, 8 hours, whatever. And then you also have spells that have a concentration duration. So while that spell is active, you have to maintain concentration on it. And if you fail your concentration check, the spell ends even if it wasn't its full duration yet. So you have duration without concentration, you have duration with concentration, and we are now including concentration without duration, which is as long as you can maintain concentration, you can keep that spell up until you're incapacitated or basically, go to sleep. So that allows you, but you're going to get shit tested by the DM occasionally just to test your concentration. So you're going to be generating periodic saving throws that spellcasters have to pass. Otherwise, they lose their spell and they dump the mana. And then there's persistent spells. So concentration spell will last all day if you can keep your concentration and you don't become incapacitated. And then there's persistent spells. And persistent spells last until you finish a short or long rest. And when you do, you can choose to spend the mana again to not to recast the spell, but to simply extend the spell to the next persistent duration. So instant duration, duration with concentration, concentration without duration, and persistent. 5 types of spells, 5 durations in the game. The buff spells and like defense spells and utility spells, a lot of those allow for concentrating without duration. Was it Warding Bond? So the cleric takes half damage anytime the fighter's active. You're going to keep that up until you don't want it to be active anymore. Then you're going to choose to turn it off. But if you want to help the fighter take more damage and you're willing to take the hits, you got to maintain concentration on it. But you're taking damage from the hits, so you have to. You have to take the hits. So you're going to be making concentration checks anyway. We let you just maintain that for as long as you want. But something like Hold Person, it's only going to last a minute, because what if you walk away and you're still maintaining concentration? Or what if the spell breaks and you're not there and you don't know it? Do you know your spell ended, or is it still going? Do you need to maintain concentration or not? What kind of signals are there? That ended up being a flaw, and we've always gone with, you don't know if they've ever broken free. You can end concentration when you choose, but they'll eventually save their way out of it. Generally, after 10 rounds of making saves, they'll automatically succeed after that point. Kind of like they'll take 20 in D&D. If you spend 10 minutes doing an action, it's as though you'd rolled a natural 20, and you'll get the result, the benefit of having done so. We use that philosophy, but having the duration with concentration is a little easier for people to digest, I think. It's a little more traditional, so it's easier for people to grok, I think. So that's what persistent means. So Sanctuary, it's listed as a 1 minute duration, and it doesn't require concentration, but this feature turns it into persistent, so it just stays active all day. It never turns off until you take a short or a long rest. Then you can just spend the point of mana and keep it going again. There you go. Super powerful, useful. So how does the feature work? One minute. Yeah, it's making you pay 3 mana for the Sanctuary spell. That's a horrible feature. That's really just a shitty feature. You could have picked up Sanctuary. I hate that. I love that. I love that we're making it super useful. Persist. That's just really dumb. Okay, so Calls of Lore. They don't get bonus spells. Too bad for you. Bonus proficiencies, get 3 skills of your choice. The spells that we give you Nope, sorry. Lore spells, not knowledge spells. Detect magic, identify, see invisibility, zone of truth, clairvoyance, tons, arcane eye, divination, commune, legend lore. Those are all just great fucking spells for College of Lore. Again, if I was like lore hold, white, red, I can cast those spells. If the ones that aren't rituals, I can cast them with white, red mana. If I am instead Demir, a Demir bard, College of Lore makes sense. They just know everything about everyone. They would use blue and black magic to cast all of these spells, but because they're both lore bards, they can use their color identity with these bonus spells, which is why I wanted to make sure that every subclass gets bonus spells or powers. Marshals get powers, full casters get spells, half casters, the paladins get 10 spells, the artificers get 10 spells, the ranger gets either 5 spells or no spells generally. So we give them 5 powers or 10 powers depending on how many spells they get. And then the barbarian, the fighter, the monk, and the rogue, they gain 10 powers as well. Proficiencies, there you go. Cutting words. When a creature, let's reduce the space between these. Cutting words. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of yourself makes a damage roll or succeeds on an ability check or attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration. Roll your Bardic, so when a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself makes a damage roll or succeeds an ability check or an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration to roll the die and subtract the number rolled from the character's roll from the creature's roll, reducing the damage or potentially turning the success into a failure. Okay, I love that. No reason to change that. Basically 2 mana anytime. There you go. Magical discoveries. You learn 2 additional spells of your choice up to the max spell level gained as a bard from the bard, cleric, druid, or wizard spell list. These count as bard spells for you. You always have the chosen spells up to the max level gained. You learn 2 additional spells of your choice up to 3rd level, because level 6, duh, up to level 3. Which can be chosen from the Bard, Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell list. These count as Bard spells for you. You always have the chosen spells prepared. And whenever you gain a Bard level, you can replace one of the spells with another spell up to the next spell level gained as a Bard. There you go. Moreover, when you finish a short or long rest, you can choose what color these spells are devoted to. When you choose these spells, you can moreover, these spells can be devoted any color mana. There, perfect. Peerless skill. When you make an ability check or attack roll and fail, you can expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration. Roll the Bardic Inspiration die and add the number to the d20 test, potentially turning a failure into a success. On a failure, Bardic Inspiration is not expended. Oh, that's really good. Okay, cool. I have no problems with that. And then College of Spirits. College of the Moon is from, does it tell me where this is from? College of the Moon is, fuck you, it's not distinguishing which book that's from. And my Calls of the Moon is from Forgotten Realms, right? I hate that they don't separate these things. God, that infuriates me. There's Handbook. Dance, glamour, lore, Valor. Thank you, Valor. That's right, Calls of Spirits was from one of the UAs, wasn't it? Calls of the Moon was from Faerun, thank you. Creation, Eloquence, Spirits. Sword, Whispers. There you go. We're only worrying about the core classes for the PHP subclasses for now. We will publish the subclasses from all the other books that are published separately as they are published, as we roll them out. And things that haven't been built yet, we'll put on my Patreon. And once they actually get published, then we'll rebuild them to match what gets published, and publish those along with these as a plenty pack of fun. Calls of Valor. Again, Valor spells. These are spells we can cast with any color that we want. If we were to have a Boros bard, that'd be white, red mana could be used to cast any of these spells: Heroism, Compel Duel, Aid, Warding Bond, Beacon of Hope, Crusader's Mantle, or Purity, Staggering Smite, Swift Quiver, Steel and Strike. The Smite spells, we disable them for the Paladin rebuild using the color of the Martial Power system, but full casters can still add these spells to their spell list. They're not as good as the strike powers in the Martial Powers material that we've been building. So this is a fun place to dump those abilities, because they aren't as good as what the Paladin actually gets now. So I like that. You can get the scraps. You can get the scraps on Shanks Hill. List here real quick before we look at it. Combat Inspiration. A creature that has a Bardic Inspiration die from you can use it for one of the following effects. Defense. When a creature is hit by an attack roll, that creature can use its reaction to expend the die to an armor class pump. That's a 2 armor class shield that uses the Bardic Inspiration die instead of a flat +5 bonus worth of ability. Offense. Immediately after the creature hits a target with an attack roll, the creature can roll the Bardic Inspiration die and add the number rolled to the attacker's damage against that target. Nice. A creature that has a Bardic Inspiration die from you, including yourself, so I want you to be able to use Bardic Inspiration die to hammer up your defense and your offense. So you can use your Bardic Inspiration die to spike your damage a little bit. You can use your Bardic Inspiration dice. A creature that has a Bardic Inspiration die from you, including yourself, can use it for one of the following abilities. So defense roll, I can burn the 2 mana to give myself a potential higher. Shield is a better spell. You may as well pick that up because the flat +5 bonus. It's flat, but at 15th level, it's going to be a D12. So it could be anywhere from a 1 to a 12. It's a gamble, but it's a fun one. Martial Training. You gain proficiency with martial weapons and training with medium and shields. In addition, you can use a simple or martial weapon as a spellcasting focus to cast a spell from your spell list. Level 6, extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action or turn. In addition, you can cast one of your cantrips that has a casting time of an action in place of one of those attacks. And Battle Magic at 14, after you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you can make one attack with a weapon as a bonus action. Cool. Fun class. Love it. And then that spare room. We're not going to worry about spare room for that. Just those subclasses. So that was a fun exercise. We went through that. Let's go back up to the top of the page and let's look at some reaction powers real quick. Because we're spending, as a bard, we're spending 2 mana inspiration. An inspiration or 2 mana, take your pick, it's the same thing. To be able to give a die, an inspiration die to your allies, and they use that as a reaction. So we have the power die for the martial classes. It starts as a D6, it becomes a D8, it becomes a D10 at 17th level. The monk gets the D6, D8, D10, D12. And the Battle Master starts with a D6, becomes D8 at 3rd, D10 at 9th, and then D12 at 17th. And then the Ranger ends up with a D12 at 20th level. Whenever they have a target marked by their prey, they use D20s. They use D12s instead of D10s for that. So, looking at the powers, reaction powers, Bardic Inspiration die basically work the same as martial power dice do. Down here. Bait and switch. When a creature within 5 feet of you, so for 1 mana, bait and switch. When a creature within 5 feet of you is hit with an attack roll, you can spend 1 mana to switch places with the creature, and you can choose to become the target of the attack. Switching places this way doesn't count as movement or provoke opportunity attacks. In addition, the target of the attack gains a bonus to the armor class against the attack equal to the proficiency modifier, potentially turning the hit into a miss. That's 1 attack that we're making with that. How did that shake out? I think the feature is actually the same down here. Defense. When the creature is hit by an attack roll, can use its reaction to roll the bardic die against the attack. The single attack. So for the Bard, it's going to cost 2 mana, single attack. For the Martial character, it only costs 1. The Martial character has the mana supply of a half-caster. So that's actually appropriate, that's half the cost. That is actually balanced. If you were to take 3 levels of Fighter and 17 levels of Bard, you would end up with 88 mana. 3 of which you get back on a short rest, and you get your 10 Bardic Inspiration, so you get a total of basically 13 mana back per short rest and 83 back on a long rest. And as a fighter, you could pick up Bait and Switch as a power that you could use as a reaction during your turn, regardless of what kind of a bard you are. And you would have that full 83 points of mana for you to dump into a ridiculous amount of bait and switch. Oh, it's a proficiency bonus. Nice. That's right. Attack bonus is equal to your proficiency modifier against potential turning. That's right. In addition, the target of the attack gains a bonus to armor class equal to your max channeling limit plus 1. That'll be anywhere from 2 to 6. It's like proficiency modifier, but it makes you stay devoted to your class instead of bailing out. So that's actually different. I'm really happy with that. Let's look at the rest of these. Inspired Attack is 1 mana as a reaction for the D6, D8, D10, which is less than the Bardic Inspiration dies. D6, D8, D10, D12. So yeah, your fighter gets 4 powers at first level. You could take Bait and Switch. You could take Inspired Attack, Effort, and Reward, which basically lets you spend your power dice 1 mana at a time to boost the results of shit. A willing creature you can see misses an attack roll. You can make it better. Retaliate, Intention, Curse, Hesitate, Deflect. As a reaction to when you or an ally within reach of your melee attack are hit by an attack roll from a source that you can see, the attack is rerolled, taking the new attack as the result. The reroll cannot score a critical hit, and if I want to, I can expend additional mana to not use my reaction to channel this power. So let's go back and look at the bard list one more time. Bonus action. Charge action, bonus action. Call to dance. Defense, add strikes, damage, tandem forward. When you roll initiative, right? Inspired movement. Thank you. When an enemy you can see, when an enemy you can see ends its turn within 5 feet of you, you can take a reaction and expend 1 use of your bardic inspiration to move up to half your speed. Then one ally of your choice within 30 feet of you can also move up to half their speed using their reaction. None of this features movement provokes an opportunity attack. Yeah, I'm going with leaving that like that. Okay, I think I'm happy with this, and I don't want to overtake my voice. Otherwise, I'd take on the cleric. But I'm being protective of my voice. I don't want to scrap it. I've been at this for an hour and a half already. So when we come back and we do this again, which might be Saturday. It might be Monday. I'm not sure which. Like and subscribe to get notifications of when I'm, or join my Discord to get notifications when I'm going to stream again. But the next time is going to be the cleric, and if time allows, also the druid. So once the Eberron book is done, which should be it should be done in about a week. So what I'm kind of thinking is. Is building this book page by page. Like what we would do is we streamed here and we built the bard and the subclasses, and then what I could do off screen is build the pages that this class and subclass revisions will be on, extract those as PDFs, and then during the rest of the week, Monday through Friday, start painting those pages while we're working, and then on Monday, Thursday, or Saturday, we work on the clerks. Like I could once the Eberron book is done, I could come back in, and I can take the barbarian and the bard. We already have those, and build those out into the PDFs, and then start doing the artwork for the barbarian and the bard. And then we'll be working on the cleric and the druid subclasses. And once those get built out, then we can do artwork for those. So whatever we build during the weeknights, we can come back and start doing the artwork for in the mornings. That way we might be able to build this book and the artwork for it at the same time. I've never tried doing a book that way. So I think that's what I want to do. So it should be about a week or so for the Eberron book to be off my plate and for us to come back and start building this stuff. Ooh, I'm kind of excited about that, especially once we get a format that looks good. We'll be able to easily replicate that for all the classes. And then we're just doing artwork like usual. We'll just be doing MTG character and environment art. Man, I'm loving this idea. That's really cool. So, yeah, starting in March, like mid-March, we'll be doing that. We'll be building the pages, the PDFs, and the artwork for the bard, all the blardy blaws. I'm really excited about this. Man, I hope you guys come along for the trip. I'm really looking forward to sharing all this shit. So, I'm going to sign off for now. Like and subscribe. Check out my books that are linked down below. I really appreciate you. Thanks. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.